What is up, everybody? What is up? Big shout out to Chaz Money Minutes for sending everybody over here. Man, the game wouldn't be the same without Chad. The game would not be the same without Chaz Money Minute. What is up with everybody tonight? I said we got some big dogs in the house. You know how we do, man. We go hang out for a minute before we get going. See, we got Juan Mian mix in the house. We got Cindo in the house. We got Juan Garcia in the house. Both of the Juans won the I think they won both of the last two giveaways. They won. It's crazy. Two Juans won both of the last two giveaways. We're not gonna have no giveaway this week, but another one coming up. Ekster is sending me some more goodies, so you know when they get them to me, I give them to y'all. Woodsy is in the building. CJ is in the building. CJ wasn't first this time, but he was still first. My guy. Dalton is in the building. Matt Clausen's in here. Of course, Chad Money Minute. I got to give him a shout out again. I got to give my brother a shout out again. And for anybody who want any information on the NOLA meetup, make sure y'all get with Chad Money Minute. He is the orchestrator of that meetup. Darius is in here. Yes, sir. Darius is in here. Xavier in here. Come on, Bobby. Bobby come in the door with the 199 spot. My guy, man. My guy. He come in the door with the 199 spot. We just gonna have a little fun today, man. It's a couple things I want to talk about. I want to talk about that the 1 million points cutoff for the 1.1 cent per point on the American Express, the Charles Schwab American Express Platinum card. Always say we go get into the metal cards. I say that every single live that I'm not doing an unfiltered, but I never do it. But today we go get into it. I don't care about what a card looks like, but we just go have a little fun tonight. We go talk a little bit about guarding our credit scores. You know what I mean? And you'll get more of that once we start talking about it. You know, once we start talking about it a little bit, you'll get more where I'm coming from. I got a new video coming out soon, and it's definitely within it's a whole nother scope of the way I usually conduct my videos. So I just want to see how everybody takes to this one, if you take to it or not. It was a fun video for me to make, so I'm good with that. Look at that. Here we go again. Here we go again. Johnny hit me with the 5 spot. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Wait a minute, hold on. Cindo say what? I might go to the next meetup. Seeing fun. Hey, look. Vegas was fun, man. Vegas was fun. But I'm going to tell you something. This one is going to be better than Vegas. Vegas was like a test run. Going over here to NOLA is going to be a better meetup. I can just see it. Like I can just see it. I think it's going to be a bigger crowd. Not to say that the last one wasn't big. It was good enough. I met some good people there, but I think I'm gonna already met those people, so I'm kind of familiar with them. But I'm gonna meet some more good people on this one, and I think we just gonna have a great time. I don't know about anybody else, but I touched down on August the 29th, and I leave September 2nd. Put down in the chat if y'all going. Put down when y'all gonna be there and when y'all leaving. Yeah, so my wife's birthday is August 30th. So we gonna be out having some fun, and I invite anybody who's coming to come and join us. I know Big John said he go come and join us. So I'm good with that. Chad is gonna come and join us. Joe Barreto is gonna come and join us because his wife is gonna be there. My brother from another mother, Big Caesar, is in the building. Big Caesar's in the building. Oh, and another thing, you know, I was supposed to have unfiltered 20 questions with Sledge with Key on the 12th. On the 12th of this month, we had to push it back to the 15th because some things came up for me on the 12th. but I will be having Kiki's Adventures on Unfiltered 20 Questions with Sledge on July 15th. I'll be putting out the I haven't made the thumbnail yet, so I'll be putting out the thumbnail shortly. Wait a minute, hold on. What did John say? I mean, John, what did Matt say? I just rejoined the 800 Club. Congratulations to you, my brother. Congratulations to you, my brother. It takes a lot of work and hard effort to get to 800. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. I have never once had an 800 credit score. The highest credit score I've ever had was 777. And I kind of be around there all the time now. So around 770, 775, I've never had an 800. That's a huge accomplishment. Mr. Money Minutes, man. Come on, y'all. Come on. I was just giving you a big shout out. Hold on. I got somebody in the lobby. My guy's in here. What is going on, my brother?
What's up, Sledge? How you doing, man? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, man, I hear you good. I hear you good. If I can hear you good, everybody hear you good.
All right,
you know what? Since you in, let me go through some more of these comments, and then I'm gonna get back to this these credit scores, because I want to get you in on a question. But let me get back to this real quick. What Caesar say? Caesar can't wait for our second meetup in NOLA for sure. And another thing,
can't wait, man.
Caesar is saying that the next meetup, because we already looking past this one, we already looking past this one, even though we know this is going to be a great one. Caesar said the next one is going to be in Puerto Rico. I'm with it. I am with it.
Sledge, we're travelers.
A year.
we're travelers. We're planning way ahead.
Right, exactly. We cannot have it in September. You know what I mean? The weather could be any kind of way this time of year. I just hope that when we go to NOLA, we don't run into any bad weather, going that way. We got here. Okay, let me see what we got here. Bobby, Caesar said he gonna be on the 30th to the 3rd. Okay. John, you gonna be on? John. So John, okay, John. So you go get right. You get in the same time with me.
Yep.
Yeah, we get in the same day. We might even cross paths somewhere in there.
Possibly, yeah.
Matt said he'll be there from Saturday to Monday. Saturday to Monday. That's a good time. I mean, because the reality is we go pretty much hook up on Saturday, probably Saturday, maybe Sunday. You know what I mean? Everybody go want to do their own thing, trying to find things to do. But yeah, if you're there for the weekend, that's the most important part.
Yep.
CJ says, congratulations, Matt. I'm 3 points below 800. Hey, man, listen. If you are at a 797, that is still a huge accomplishment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is a huge accomplishment. But I'm glad that you said that, because I'm gonna come back to that a little bit later. It has something to do with what I want to talk about. The orchestrator, Mr. Chad's Money Minute. Chad, do you come in the daytime or do you come at night? You gotta kick it with me and my wife for her birthday on the 30th. I know you get there on the 30th. I think you said your wife is coming.
Nice.
Travel Points family, salute to you. Appreciate you being in here. We talking about the creator meetup we having in NOLA this year. I don't know if you knew about it. If you did know about it, I hope that you're coming. I'm really going to enjoy meeting some new people down there. All right. Well, anyway, let's get to it. The first thing I want to ask you directly this, John, because I know that you have a pretty solid credit score. I say, my score lingers somewhere around 770 to 777. 777 the highest I've ever had. Does monitoring your credit score prevent you from doing certain things with your credit? And if you don't get what I'm saying, that is, my thing is, a lot of people, they're so caught up in increasing their score or maintaining their score that it stops them from leveraging their credit?
Well, that's a great question, Sledge, and this is a great topic. I would say the only okay, so there were 2 times in my life that I've really worried about my credit score. Number 1 was when I was rebuilding myself financially from the Great Recession of '08, '09. That's a whole other story I can tell about that debacle, but, um, when I was rebuilding myself from scratch because had nothing, and 2 was when I was buying my house. Like, other than that, like, I remember when I was buying my house, the mortgage broker told me, he said, "John," he said, "if your scores are anything like anywhere from like 780 up through the 8s, you're gonna get the same rates pretty much." It might vary by like a thousandth of a tenth of a percent, but he's like, it's inconsequential. He says it doesn't matter. So I've learned over time to like, okay, I was worried about it rebuilding myself. I was worried about it buying a house. Other than that, like if I'm getting ready to go for a card, I know I'm good. Like, I mean, my scores are like 799 to 805 the last time I checked across the 3 bureaus. So I'm not concerned at all whatsoever. I don't watch it every day and sit here and like wring my hands and, I don't bother.
Man, you at 799, you at 800. Like
Yeah.
you
I mean,
at 800. If you at 799, you at 800. But
yeah.
you brought up some very valid points, because I would tell anybody, if you looking to buy a house, of course, you
Yep.
kind of want to chill with whatever you're
Yep.
doing with credit.
Yep.
Like that should be a no-brainer, but just to put that out there.
Yep.
And if you got a thin credit profile or you're rebuilding your credit, that's a whole nother thing too.
Yep.
That's a whole nother thing too. I can understand. I was in the same boat. When I was rebuilding my credit, like I wouldn't apply for anything. It just
Yeah.
didn't make sense at that time.
I mean, when you're starting from literally nothing, I mean, only you can only go up,
You can only
so
go up, and it's easier to go up when it's low.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Like it's easier to go up when it's low. Once you start getting even past 700, it'll start ticking.
Yep.
Like it'll start ticking. It's not going up as fast as it was before.
Yep. I'm sure you're probably like me too, Sledge. You're probably at a point where, I mean, I know you've got probably like 15 more cards than I have right now, but I think I just hit 20 or so, 19 or 20 cards. But it's like the last couple of cards I got, I mean, my credit profile is so thick with 20 cards, a house, a car, that I think the last card I got, I think my score dropped by 3 points.
Right.
Like, it's like
Yeah.
I'm at a point where I don't worry about it anymore.
You know what? I've gotten credit cards and my score didn't drop at all.
Yeah.
I got the hard inquiry, but the score never changed.
But when you have like 30 some cards,
Yeah. But you know what? The funny thing is, you know what? I'm gonna skip off that for a minute. But um, the thing is, like, I look at a lot of people that talk about, and mainly, if you somebody in the credit card community, you're probably not somebody who's severely guarding your credit. You know what I mean? Like you're probably not that person.
yep.
But for the people that do it, you know what I mean? Like if you're just getting credit cards, there's so many other things you can do with your credit score. You know what I mean? Like, you think about leveraging business credit, and I'm not just talking about business credit cards,
Mhm.
because let's be honest, anybody can get a business credit card. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
won't say anybody. If you have fairly decent credit, there are some business credit cards that you can get. You
Yep.
have the Capital One Spark card. Not the excellent credit one. But the low one. They get that. I think all you have to have is a I think it's 640 in order to get that card. You know what I mean? So,
Wow.
but when I'm talking about like getting business loans, business lines of credit, because at the end of the day, man, we live in a society where we need to make money. You know what I mean? Like, we need to make money, and the more streams of income that we can have coming in, the better it is, and the easier our lives are. You know, and it doesn't matter how much money we make at our job, how much money we make at one business that we have. There's nothing like having an additional stream of income. You know what I mean? Or
Yep.
more multiple streams of income, and using your credit in order to get those and get the low interest rates, you know,
Yep. Ooh.
business credit with no docs and all of that. And I'm like, where do you live at? You know what I mean? Like, if you have no business at all, or you are sole proprietor, you are not walking into a bank and getting a business loan like, hey man, look, I'm Dante Sledge and I want some money. You know what I mean? And they're not gonna run my credit. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I haven't really gone down that path yet as far as, leveraging credit. I've gotten a couple of business cards. The Blue Business Plus was my first one. I just got the um, uh, US Bank Business Altitude Connect card, and so in my side gig is still really at a very fledgling level where I'm like sporadically making a bit of money here and there. So it's not a consistent stream yet, but hoping it can be in the future. So, but if and when that time comes where, I do need to, or I can leverage my personal credit for business credit, then that's a nice option to have.
Oh, it's an excellent option to have. The chat was saying that our audio was out. I don't know if it was me or you. Whose audio was out? Can y'all hear me?
Yep, I can hear you fine. Yeah, you actually cut out. You cut out for me for about 20 seconds.
Did I really?
You came back. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Stupid Mike. But yeah, anybody that missed anything, we were just talking about leveraging our personal credit so that we can get business credit. Just leveraging your personal credit so you can get business credit. And it's one saying that I'm pretty sure all of us have always heard: scared money don't make money. You know what I mean? If you so worried about your credit score, because to be honest with you, your credit score is a 3-digit number that means absolutely nothing if you're not taking advantage of it. You know what I mean?
Yep. Exactly. You can pin that right along with sitting on 1 million points. It means absolutely freaking nothing until you use them.
Sitting on 1 million. Let me tell you something. When I saw the post about the cutting off the 1.1 cent per point for the American Express Charles Schwab Platinum card at 1 million points, I'm like, I'm never gonna have 1 million points over there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just not gonna have 1 million points over there, man. I'm gonna earn and burn them. I'm like, there's no sense. Deflation is a real thing.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I thought about at some point getting the Charles Schwab card just for that option. But if they're cutting it down to, 0.8 or, I think I saw 0.8 somewhere, then it's like, I mean, yeah, you're at that point, you might as well use them in travel. I mean, it's a nice thing to have.
Yeah.
That option in case you need it for something. But yeah, if it's going to be 0.8, you might as well you're better off using them from travel then.
Well, I got the Charles Schwab Platinum. I got it as a safety net, but honestly, I hopefully for me, I never plan on using that safety net. You know what I mean? That's all it is. It's a safety net.
Yep.
And if I can cash out at 1.1 cent per point if I needed to, that's awesome. Hopefully, I never have to. You know what I mean? I use it for travel and whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I'll still get the card. I mean, I can't ever see myself having 1 million points either, just because I mean, unless player 2 drops out of the sky and into my lap somehow, you know, I don't see that ever being a thing. But I'm at a point where, you know, traveling, Chad. But I'm at a point where, you know, I'm starting to look at, you know, point redemptions and, you know, with my trip to Iceland here coming up, and then looking at stuff for next year and then in 2026. And, you know, it's like, don't sit on the points, use them, because you sit on, and like I said in a few videos back, you know, it's like tomorrow's not guaranteed, you know. Don't sit there and like bank points, you know. Use them, travel.
Use them for travel. And look, we got Mr. Chad Money Minutes in the building. Chad is in the Chase Sapphire Lounge in Boston, I think. I think he's in Boston.
Oh. Yeah, Boston. I'm trying to fix my camera here.
You know what? Boston is one place that I've never been. I've never been to Boston. I've never even been in Boston Airport. And Chad is showing off being over in the Sapphire Lounge because he had a priority pass. And I mean, I don't even know how many cars I have priority pass on. Like, I have several. Chad back?
I'm pretty sure I have just 2. I think just my platinum card, and the Business Altitude Connect card comes with, I believe, 4 visits.
Okay, 4 visits.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a few cars with priority pass, but the thing is, I wanted to gift them to somebody, but they won't let you do it.
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't know that.
No, they will not let you do it. I asked priority pass, like American Express, that wouldn't have any problem with it, but priority pass won't let you do it. We got Chad again.
All right, there's Chad. There's Chad.
Hey, look, I wanted to give a big shout out to Big Chad for not only setting up, you know, the meetup, but for also shouting my channel out during his live so people could come over here, man. Chad, you are an inspiration to the community, and I think I'll speak for everybody, bro. Like, I think I'll speak for everybody, bro. You are part of the glue to this culture, man, and that's for real.
You know, I will second that, Sledge, because I don't think that I would have driven 5 hours each way just to meet anybody. Like when I knew Chad was that close back in February, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like, hey Chad, let's do this. And Chad was like, yep, come on up, man, let's do it. So it was a great experience.
Chad is the dude, man. Chad, what do you think about that 1 million points cutoff for the CS platinum card?
I think it's good. Can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think it's fantastic because what do you say on X amount of millions of points? It makes no sense to me. And I've said this on videos before that it's currency. Just like your dollars are currency, your points are currency. So I don't understand behind that and why it is that you'll let that happen, because once they get devalued, now you've killed all the value of the points that you've earned from the dollars that you spent, and especially you've killed your return on investment from any sign-on bonuses where those points have now been devalued. So you go from potentially anywhere from 15 to 30% to like 4, or in some cases negative, because people just love to see those balances. It's like being the richest guy in a game of Monopoly. Like, who cares?
No, not me, bro. I got up to I think I'm up to like almost 400K on Hilton points, and the only reason that is because I have these free night certificates, so I'm not using the points. You know what I mean? But yeah, I gotta start using some of them points, man. I gotta start using some of them points.
I got a little fruity drink here. What's
that on top of there, man? What is that?
I have no idea. It's called the Sapphire, and it's some sort of foliage. But this is like one of their signature drinks. So I'm gonna try this out.
some foliage. They grab some
my brother. Oh, come on, man.
It tastes like
Hey,
cough syrup.
it was free. it was free. You go up there and get something else.
And somebody was telling me about the burger, so I'm going to try the burger.
Yeah, somebody said something about, who was it? Somebody said something about the burger in your live.
Let's see it. All right, let's give it a go.
Either say Chad is the glue that keeps the community together. Listen, like I say, I think everybody 100% agree with that. All right, since you up here, Chad, I want to talk to you about this leveraging your credit score. You know what I mean? I want to talk to you about it because
All right.
I just feel like a lot of people, you know, they'll get credit cards. You know what I mean? Like that's not the issue, but people are afraid to. You know, you have an 805 credit score. You got an 830 credit score. You got a 700 credit score, right?
Okay.
You can get business funded, right? You can get business lines of credit. I think people get so caught up with admiring their credit score, watching it go up, and not using their credit score in order to help them financially. How do you feel about that?
I totally agree. And it actually goes right in with the points, these huge points balances. After a certain point, it's useless. It's diminishing returns. Imagine a carpenter who has a hammer that is the best hammer in the world, but he never uses it because he doesn't want a nail to scratch it. Like, it doesn't make any sense. The business of America is business. So when you have your credit, if you are not leveraging your credit, basically, and this is in layman's terms, borrowing other people's money and trying to avoid the convenience cost, which is interest, before you have to give it back, then what are you doing? It's literally the same thing as throwing $100 bills on a fire because you now have spending power that you are allowing to go to waste.
You're allowing it to go to waste. Like you are literally allowing it to go to waste. I was talking to a guy at my gym. He has a 69 Dodge Challenger. He saw my Challenger and he started talking to me about it. He told me he don't bring the Challenger out because he don't want to get scratched on the paint. So he just started in the garage and leave it in the garage. And I'm like, you go get that Challenger to your son and he gonna destroy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you've never driven. You haven't. No, he said he's never driven it. 69 Dodge Challenger.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So what's the point of it?
What's the point of it?
It's a paperweight at that point.
And basically, that's the same thing with somebody that logs into Experian, you know, admires their credit score, and uses it for absolutely nothing.
Exactly. Yep. And they're busy using their Chase Freedom Unlimited for every single purchase under the sun.
And you know what? For people that aren't into this game, I get it. You know what I mean? I get it. They just not into the game. They just you know what I mean? They got their good credit score. They had a house. They had a car, whatever. You know what I mean? Or maybe they don't have those things because they don't want to ruin their credit score, which just doesn't make sense to me. You know what I mean? But my big thing is the business credit, because we like to talk about getting business credit cards, but in the reality of things is, man, just about anybody can get a business credit card. You know what I mean? If you have fairly decent credit, you can get a business credit card.
Now I gotta add something to that, because when I first started my channel, I actually did the dark side of business credit, because we all know in this community, everything works on a fad. Like right now, the big fad is the Chase Strata Premier. Before that, it was everybody was gonna cancel their gold card. Then before that, it was the new in-brand sign-on bonus for the CSP. You can almost predict them at this point. Well, back then, the fad was business credit, and I agree with what you said. Anybody can get it, but they don't realize you will destroy your credit 2 for 1 if you are not careful with your business credit, you are still the guarantor of that credit. Like, these people are playing like, I see some of these talking heads on here. You can do it with no docs. You can get 100,000, and then you move this here, and then you do that, and do this, and do that, and do that. Well, look, at best case, you're incompetent. Worst case, well, that's money laundering. So that's a thing. So you might want to watch out for that. And then either way, still, someone is always responsible for this money. And I actually did a whole series on it. I did a video on it. It was actually one of my best performing videos. It was a long time ago. But it was just to show the other side, instead of the rosy picture that a lot of people like to paint. Now, I know that the ink train and the ink cards and business cards are gaining steam now, but I just want people to be careful. Like, guard your business credit like you guard your personal credit, because there are credit bureaus. They do watch. You might not have your FICO, but you do have your Paydex score, your Dun & Bradstreet number, these things that most people aren't terribly familiar with, your LexisNexis. Like, I'm saying words that some people might not have even heard before, but they can actually really mess up your ability to leverage business credit, which you get in much bigger quantity that you can get for scalability of a potential business you may have. You may have a great idea and never be able to get it off the ground because you can't get other people to invest.
Yeah. You know what? I have a business outside of YouTube that I don't talk about on YouTube. I don't really plan on talking about it on YouTube, but yeah, I mean, it was all about getting the Dun & Bradstreet number. You know, I have a Paydex score. You know what I mean? You also have your experience score, you know, business score and things like that. But it all started with my personal credit. You know, like the people talking about no docs and all of that to get bit. Like I was saying, John, I'm like, how? You know what I mean? Like, how? Like, how do you walk into a bank and be like, I'm Chaz Money Minutes and don't run my credit, but I need 50 grand to start this business. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I mean, if you're Chad, maybe, you know, I mean,
it may be for Chad. Maybe for Chad. maybe for Chad. But
it's something else that you were saying, Sledge. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. But piggybacking off what Chad said, even like the checking systems, right? Like it's like what check systems, and there's I know there's probably 2 or 3 more that can't think of off the top of my head right now, but even those, you know, they monitor your checking habits. You know, and I've seen people, though, the people that churn bank bonuses and all that, where they do it so much and they basically at some point get shut down because, you know, people start doing not really a credit check, but a check on their behavior in those systems, and you know, they get shut down eventually too for bad behavior. So even in that, you know, if you're looking at a business, you're not only looking at business credit, but you're also looking at like business checking or business savings and those kind of accounts too. So those go hand in hand.
Yeah, you know what, honestly, like if you have a legitimate business, you want a Dun & Bradstreet's number. Just answering what CJ was asking about, how do you access those? You sign up. You basically sign up for an experience score. You know, you have to get a Dun & Bradstreet's number, and it's essentially just signing up for it. Like, it's essentially just logging into their website and signing up for it. But the thing is, a lot of the credit cards that we get, like the American Express Platinum card, the American Express business cards, they don't report to Dun & Bradstreet. They report, man, I can't think of it on top of my head. It's a small business bureau or something like that, but they report to that. So you have to look at the products that you have in order to see what they actually report to. You know what I mean? Because they're just like there's Experian, TransUnion, Equifax for your personal credit. There's different business credit bureaus. So it's a lot that goes into it, man. There's so many credit bureaus, and like I said, Chad was saying LexisNexis, and there's so many credit bureaus. You really have to do your research in order to know these things. And when you have these credit cards, you have to see where they report to, because some of them don't even report to business credit at all. Like some business credit cards do not report to business credit at all. I know Navy Federal. I have the Navy Federal Go Biz card. It doesn't report to my personal credit or my business credit. neither one at all, which is absolutely insane. Yeah, but yeah, it's just something. Caesar know about net 30s, net 60s, and basically a net 30 and the net 60 just means that when you borrow money from these people, that's the amount of time that you have to pay them. You know what I mean? If you don't pay them back in that 30 days, then they're going to report you.
Yeah, you don't want to mess with those trade lines.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's the same thing with regular business cards. You know, we say that regular business credit cards don't report to our credit. Don't pay them and see what happens.
Sledge, I'm happy you bring that up, because that's what I was talking about with the 2-for-1 tanking of your credit score. Well, a lot of people are not aware that if you take out a business credit card, once you are delinquent within 30, 60, 90 days, not only does it report on your business credit profile, they will go to your personal credit profile, because 9 times out of 10, even if you put an EIN, they still required your social security number for a preliminary credit check in order to get that credit card. So they will report to both. Now, mind you, if you're a little late, can you work it out? Yeah, but if you are delinquent, be prepared that Chase, Amex, Capital One already reports to your personal credit, and the utilization reports to your personal credit, but they will report to your personal credit. You will have serious issues.
Don't forget Discover. Discover also reports to your personal credit. And I'm not even familiar with the Discover business card, but I know they do have one, and I know that it does report to your personal credit. So I would stay away from those altogether.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that I'm pretty sure that the Venture X business card and the Spark for excellent credit only report to business credit. I'm pretty sure those two do. Well, I won't say I'm pretty sure, but
I've heard the Spark goes personal. I've heard the Spark by name goes personal.
right.
I don't know.
Well,
about
you know Capital One. They have like 3 Sparks.
Yeah, you're right. True
you
story.
know how Capital One do it. They have like 3 Spark cards. So you know, same thing with the Saver. You know, they have 45 Saver cards and 45 Quicksilver cards. That's just Capital One being Capital One. But yeah, just in general speaking, you know, listening to other YouTubers, as I always say, man, do your research. You know what I mean? Do your research, because a lot of stuff that you hear on YouTube, online, on TikTok, on Instagram, anywhere, these people are they're just regurgitating what someone else told them.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? They're just regurgitating what someone else told them, and a lot of times it's just not true. You know what I mean? If you don't pay that business credit, it's going to report to your personal credit. You know what I mean? Because that's why you personally guarantee it. That's why they ask for your social security number. That's why when you put in your EIN, they still ask for your social security number. You know what I mean? Because you still personally guaranteeing that credit. You know? A lot of people, you know, some people might know it, but it is real. You know what I mean? Like, it is real.
Another thing I like to say is, and this is something I tell my viewing audience, I'm all about more discerning credit card users. You don't have to have the most credit cards. You don't have to have the highest limits, but you need to be the smartest with your cards. So with that, I would say challenge your favorite creators. If I'm your favorite creator and I say something you ain't sure about, please do not take my word as law. I am human. I am flawed. Challenge it. Ask me, are you sure? Or even tell me straight up, hey, I think it goes this way. You might want to know. I've had people in my comment sections put me up on game where I literally made an honest mistakes. I have done retractions. I have put it in the comments. I am very transparent about it. I'm telling you, audience, challenge your creators. Don't just watch somebody because they're popular. I don't care who they are. I don't care how many followers they have, how many subscribers they have. If it don't sound right, ask a question.
Yep. You can use what someone says as a guideline, but then go and look at it for yourself so that you can see it in writing that, okay, yeah, Chad was right, or yeah, Sledge was right about this, or Joe or Anthony or whomever you're watching. Because a lot of times when I'm watching your guys' content, you're teaching me something I didn't know. And so then I'm going and looking at it, Chad might say something about something. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. And then I'll go and look at what you were talking about. And then so I'm reading it for myself. And I think that's what everybody should do is like, okay, read it for yourself. Chances are, people are giving you good information, but it's the internet. I mean, so it's like, I trust you guys, but it's like when you're reading stuff on, Reddit and whatever Discord you're in or whatever, it's like, unless you read it for yourself, then, you can't trust it.
Listen, what Water Your Soil, Darnell over at Water Your Soil says, and I'm just making it short. He says it in a different way, but man, trust but verify. You know what I mean? Trust but verify. You know what I mean? You cannot take everybody's word for everything just because you heard it. Just because you heard it from them and you think they're a reliable source. Even if they're a reliable source, they could have got some bad information. You know what I mean? Like they could have got some bad information and then they spread it to you. And if they have 22, they have 20,000 subscribers, that's 20,000 people with bad information. You know what I mean? Some of those people are other creators that are going to take that information and run with it and spread it to their subscribers and so on and so forth. And that's how we get to where we are today with a lot of the bad information that we have out here. So,
yep.
I don't know how many videos I see about business credit, and it's like, you don't have to have a business. You can get approved without a business. But if they want to really investigate and pull on it, you might be in trouble with some of those things. You know what I mean? And I say, me personally, when I applied for my American Express Hilton Business card, they asked me for 3 months of business checking accounts. You know what I mean? I could provide it because I'm being truthful with them when I apply for the card. You know what I mean? But it's a lot of people that may not be able to do the same thing because they're listening to people say, hey, you can just apply for these cards and, it don't report to your personal credit and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? And I don't want to mess up my relationship with American Express or anybody that I apply for. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know, man.
You're the king of American Express anyway, so it don't even matter. You can do whatever you want.
Man, I'm tell you, I thought I was the king of PenFed too, and then I'm gonna tell you something about PenFed. PenFed is they so strict. When you apply for their card, when you do a pre-approval, it's like you really apply for a card, right? It doesn't affect your credit. But they'll send you a letter in the mail on why you were denied the pre-approval.
On a pre-approval?
I tried to get, it's a card I've been trying to get for the longest. This is the PenFed Platinum card. Now, the only reason I want this card is because you get 3% cash back at Walmart. And
okay.
My wife has the venture card, right? My wife has the venture. And that only gives 2% back if you go inside. This card gets 3%. I pre-approved for it. Denied me, man. Too many recent approvals. And I don't think I even got anything since. I don't think I've got a new car since March. Yeah, I don't think I got a new car since March. But yeah, they sent me the letter in the mail. But yeah, they do it just like as if you were actually denied for a car, if it affected your credit score. I got it in the mail and I'm like, I knew this is what it was. You know what I mean? Like I knew it was what it was. They pulled FICO 9 though.
Oh,
Yeah, they pull a lot, but I knew that though. Yeah, and that's another thing I tell people when you apply for these cards, because a lot of people just apply for the same banks. You know what I mean? You just apply for American Express, Citi, Chase, U.S. Bank. You kind of know where they pull from, Wells Fargo. But if you somebody like me that apply for different credit unions and different banks. John has the FNBO Evergreen card. You got to do your research, man. You got to know where these people are pulling from. You have to do your research on and know where they're pulling from. But you know what, John? I'm gonna tell you something. I gotta pull myself over here to the main screen. I'm not trying on here. Okay. That's funny. So I hadn't used my Evergreen card in like eternity. So I decided to put $10 on it and I was just gonna put the $10 on there and put it on my gift card for Toast, so I could just keep stacking on the gift card, right?
Yep.
I go into the Evergreen account, man. They cut my credit limit. They cut my credit limit because I hadn't been using the card. Not only did they cut the credit limit, they cut the credit limit from 5,600 to 1,000. Like, yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I
called them. So if you haven't been using your card, put a little spin on it. Put a little spin on it. Yeah, I called them and they said, "Yep, you ain't been using this thing."
Fellas, I'm sorry, I gotta sign off because I'm gonna head to the gate. I'm gonna jump back in the live as a viewer. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for having me, John. Always appreciate.
And Chad's out. Yeah, I use my card. So actually, I don't know if I talked about this or not before, but I have not just that 2% card, but my very first card with FNBO was their 1% card, which I still have, the 1% across the board. But every now and then, I keep a reload of Amazon, and I have an Amazon bank. So I'll throw, $5 or $10 on them every now and then, probably every couple months or so, just to keep FNBO happy. But yeah, I've read somewhere, or maybe it was some video, but I think it was reading somewhere. The more I think about it, about FNBO was going through and either closing accounts out completely, or they were reducing credit limits, like they were doing a wide sweep.
Well, they definitely got me. they definitely got me, and because after I got it, I got the letter in the mail saying why they did it. You know what I mean? And I get it. You know what I mean? I get it.
Yeah.
I hadn't been using the credit, and luckily for me, they didn't just cancel the card. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they didn't just cancel it, because if it's gonna get canceled, I want to cancel it. I don't want them to cancel the card. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But it is what it is. It was my first catch-all card. It was my first card that was 2% on everything. So, and I've had that card for a decent amount of time. So I actually want to keep it open.
Yeah. Yep. They're a good bank to get into if you can. They have some decent products. So
the only problem that I had with FNBO was when I applied for the personal card, I got it, and I wanted to apply for the business card. So I waited a little while, and when I applied, they said it wasn't in my area, and I'm like, I just got the personal card like 2 weeks prior to that. And I've tried, and I actually tried several times. Nah, they wasn't having it. They was not having it. They would not give me a card here in Florida.
Yeah, I wonder if they were doing a thing where, kind of like, I think, wasn't it Redstone that did this too? Like they basically put the kibosh on anybody outside of their area applying for cards all of a sudden.
Right.
So I wonder if that's what you fell into.
That's probably what it is. Which is kind of trash though. You know what I mean? Because when I first got that card, I was putting a decent amount of spin on it because, like I say, I like to keep a decent amount of cash back in my cashback card. So when I do travel, I have that money I can pull out and use it while I'm traveling. You know what I mean? I use the bank account bonus money, but I also like to have cash back from certain cashback cards. So yeah. YouTube Experiment says the points at PenFed are worth 0.85 cent per point though. But you know what? If you when I've used when I use cash out my points in order to get a hotel, it's 1 cent per point. Yeah, I used the same weekend I cashed out my points for Navy Federal and PenFed at the same time. I got 1 cent per point on both of those. So I've heard that it was 0.85 cent per point, but I have not experienced that. So like I say, at the end of the day, you always got to do your own research on it. So
yep.
And please, as AP says, don't forget to hit the like button, man. Your boy needs you to hit the like button. We got to get these videos out to more people. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about?
Hit like, hit subscribe. It only takes a split second to do both.
It takes less than a second, right, John? And anyway, since I got my boy John up here, anybody in the chat, and I know most of y'all probably already subscribed to him, but anybody in the chat that is not subscribed to John's channel, John, what is your channel? Go ahead and shout it out.
It is John's Credit and Travel.
Please hit that.
It's all one word, all put together. John's Credit and Travel.
Please subscribe to my dude's channel, man. John support everybody, and not only do John support everybody, John has great content. So you're gonna be missing out on a lot of things if you do not subscribe to John's channel.
Appreciate that, Sledge. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely, man. Listen, one thing about me is I only have the real in here with me. You know what I mean? Like, I only have the real in here with me. If you up here on the SledgeIncTeam channel, you real, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you support everybody, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna give 100% to try to push you for sure.
Filmo.
Point Blank Travel says great information being put. Hey, listen, we try to give it the best that we can, as real as we can. Filmo say I'm struggling putting spin on my cars. Definitely got to get better at putting charge. Hey, listen, Filmo, learn from your boy. Like, learn from your boy, man. They will chop you if you don't put that spin on there.
I mean, and it's kind of easy, right? Either it's either you do an Amazon reload. I mean, we all shop at Amazon, right? I mean, they're not the biggest online retailer in the world for no reason. I do a reload, or sometimes I'll grab a card and I'll stop and get a bottle of water on the way to the gym, put something on it, use it for a little bit.
You know what I mean? Like I said, if you have one of those Delta cards and you're stacking those gift cards for restaurants, why not use that other credit card that you're using? Just put $10 on there. I mean, just put $10 on there. That's another $10 you go use at a restaurant. You go use anyway. You know what I mean? So why not do that? Filmo say, if you do not subscribe to John, what are you doing with your life? Man, I feel you, Filmo.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Filmo. I can't wait to meet you, man. It's gonna be awesome.
It is go, man. Listen, I told everybody, NOLA is gonna be the funnest meetup, man. I'm telling you. I'm sorry, Caesar. We going to to Puerto Rico next year, but NOLA's gonna be the funnest meetup, man. It's gonna be the funnest meetup, man.
It's gonna be awesome. I think my
camera's Caesar. I know Caesar gonna have a whole bunch of stuff for us, so that's gonna be dope too.
Yeah, I am. I need to look into PenFed cards because it's been some years ago now, but I had a auto loan with, I can't remember the bank now, and they got bought by PenFed, and I paid the loan off and everything, but I still have a login account with them. I don't have any business with them at all, but I can still log into my PenFed portal. But I need to look at a few of their cards. I think I need at least a little bit of a relationship with them. So I know they have some decent cards.
Yeah, they have. You know what? The thing about my thing with PenFed is they have some good cards. The best card, hands down, is the Pathfinder card. And the reason the Pathfinder card is the best card is because they give you the $100. They give you a $100 travel credit. Only thing that you have to do is be a PenFed honors member. In order to be a PenFed honors member, the only thing you have to do is have a checking account. You can have $5 in that checking account, you know,
Yep.
and they waive the $99 annual fee to that account. And Caesar can attest to this because he also has that card every year. So now you have that $99. And when you want to get those overpriced drinks on the plane, you know, and when you fly on an airline that you don't usually fly and you need to pay for check bags, you got $99. I mean, it's $100. You have $100 to spend on that. So
that's a great point.
Right.
That is an ace in the hole, right?
It's an ace in the hole when you're talking about essentially a $0 annual fee card. You're not paying an annual fee card because the only thing you're doing is putting money in a checking account. You know what I mean? And it could be as little as $5. Yeah.
Yep.
That card has came in the clutch for me big time. You know, when I've flown different airlines that I don't usually fly and I need to pay for check bags, there you go. You know, I'm on a plane and I'm like, you know what? Let me get a rum and coke. You know what I mean? Overpriced rum and coke that they just give me the little 99-cent bottle and a coke.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Charge you $8 for it. John and bounced. Oh, there you go.
Oh, yeah, my camera was fuzzy for some reason. I was trying to fix it. Sorry about that. Now you all get to see me in HD again.
YouTube experiment. YouTube experiment. You go be a Nola too.
AP, that's really kind, man. I'm not sure I'm the funniest.
Hey, I'm telling you, we got a great group of people here. Now, it's one thing we had 57 minutes. It's one thing that me and John we both can agree with. If a card gives us value, we could care less what that card is made out of. You know what I mean? Like the card can be made out of a paper towel. If it gives you value, that is the only thing that matters, right? But every time I do a live, I say I'm gonna count out my metal cards, and I never do because for whatever happens, we go over in time and whatever. But today we're gonna make it happen. Wait a minute before I get in there. Pathfinder free $100 and free. Right, exactly, Caesar. It also has global entry for anybody that doesn't have global entry or TSA pre-check. The Pathfinder gives you that, and it's a free card as long as you have a checking account. They tell you that you have to have an honors checking account. It's not true. Just have a standard checking account with them, and you will get $100 airline credit and free global entry on a free card.
I know when they bought the bank that had my loan, they opened a savings account for me and put $5 in it.
Wow!
And I didn't even know it until I looked one day, and I'm like, "Why do I have a savings account for?" And it had $5 in it. I'm like, "Okay." So I guess that they want you to have that relationship with them, or it's right. I'm not sure if it's a rule or not, but they want you to have that relationship with you. I'm assuming in the hopes that you'll do more business with them, perhaps. I don't know for sure, but I know that when I paid off my loan, the account went away, like they closed it.
Right.
So, like I said, right now I can log into it. I just have no business with them right now. So,
yeah, see, with these credit unions, basically, they put $5 in there because $5 make you a member and you know, credit unions are member run. So meaning that $5 means that you are part owner of the credit union now. And then when you out of the account, they give you that $5 back. You know what I mean? So that's giving you back your ownership of the credit union. So
that makes sense.
That's that's generally with any credit union. So anyway, let's get to these metal cards, man.
That's a fat stack there, man.
Let's see what I got here. The one card that's about to be canceled soon, the curve card, man. Curved, and they curved us. They curved us. They canceled. I think it's the 8th is the last day that the curve card that we can have the curve card. So they canceled it on me. I think they only gave me like $4,000 anyway. But you know, it sucks to lose $4,000 off your credit. But yeah, the curve card is going away in the United States. While they restructure it, it would make sense for them to just keep it until they restructured it. But yeah, the curve, they canceled everybody in the United States curve card. It was a great card. You can put all your MasterCards and Visas on here. MasterCard and Discover on here. And you can also, if you use this card, you can also move your charge from one card to another on this card, but they're closing it. I think it's July 8th. So that's number one. The next one, I got coming up. Hilton Business. Right now, one of my favorite cards, and that's on the strip that you get 5x on all purchases. You know what I'm saying? Outside of Hilton, you get more on Hilton, but on all purchases, you get 5x on it, and the card is I use it for a lot of stuff at this point. Like I wasn't even using it, but I was going to cancel the card, but they kept the annual fee at $95. So I'm going to keep it, but I'm going to cancel it next year. So this is how it's going. Next one is my favorite card besides the Amex Platinum card, Hilton Aspire. So that is metal card number 3. You get 32 points at Hilton. You know what I mean? 32 points. Free night certificate. Hilton Diamond status. $400 in Hilton stays. $200 biannually. You know what I mean? So it's a great card. Keep in mind, it's a $550 annual fee. $550 annual fee is kind of steep, but it's still one of my favorite cards. So Hilton Aspire card, that's there. John has this card. That's number 4. That is the Delta Platinum Sky Miles card. Another metal card is the reason I keep this card is because of the companion certificate. Like I wanted that companion certificate for so long, and I just never got it until recently. I think I've had it for a couple months now, but yeah, I got it for the companion certificate. You get $150 Delta Stay credit.
Yes, $150.
$150 Delta Stage credit, which is super easy to use. It's super easy to use. Delta.com, book your hotel stay, and in a day or so, you get the credit. I mean, I think I got the credit the same day, honestly. Yeah. I think I got the credit the same day.
The credit applies before the charge even actually posts.
Right. And then you get the rest of your credit on it. It's just a great card.
Yep.
Then we have the venture card that I'm gonna go back down to the Quicksilver on. I got the venture card because I just wanted to get out of the Quicksilver. I had that Quicksilver for 9 years. You know what I mean? Like they would not let me product change. They would not increase the credit limit. I ended up product changing to the venture. They still didn't increase the credit limit. I still have a $2,000 credit limit on this card, and I've had this card for, I don't know, 10 or 11 years. I'm not even sure. It's somewhere around that. But yeah, they still won't increase the credit limit. So I'm gonna downgrade back to the Quicksilver, and the Venture is gonna be gone.
Capital
That
One is
was
so
number,
weird.
I think that was number 5.
They are so weird.
Okay, so that was number 5. Another card that I'm gonna cancel at the end of the year, American Express Bilt Business Gold. The only reason that I held on to that card, I was gonna cancel it this year, but the only reason I kept it is because they gave me 70,000 membership reward points to keep it, and I couldn't pass that up. You know what I mean? It's actually a good card. Like I actually was surprised. I actually kind of liked the card, but man, $375 annual fee when I'm already paying a gang of annual fees, it's just time for it to go. Another card. This is another card John had.
Yep.
The Bilt MasterCard. Now, John, tell them how you use your Bilt MasterCard. Yours is different than me.
So, well, I guess not really the card per se, but with Bilt, I use Bilt. I get Bilt points from my Wells Fargo mortgage. So, because Wells Fargo issues the Bilt card, and they have that relationship with each other. Bilt allows Wells Fargo mortgage holders to use Bilt ACH to make our mortgage payments with. And so by that function, we get Bilt points for doing that. Now, where the card comes into play is you have to have 5 transactions with Bilt to get any points. So you still have to make those transactions with the card. So that's the only caveat.
Right. And you know me, man. Look, when you start getting my age, man, you forget to make those 5 transactions. I have to make those 5 transactions. I use it to pay my HOA fee because you can use it to you can use it to pay HOA fee. But
Yep.
I have to make those other 5 transactions in order to make that work. So
it could be a great card. You could do HOA fees. You could do property taxes, depending on what jurisdiction you live in, if they accept cards for payments. And here's the one thing I think is interesting point to bring up on this real quick, Sledge, is that I've had a lot of people, because I did a video on Bilt and why I like Bilt so much as a homeowner. And a lot of people ask me, well, what about fees? What about this place charges fees? What if they charge me a fee for it? Like, you're getting points on the fee too.
Right.
So, I mean, if you're paying a $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 property tax, if they charge you at 1%, okay, you're still, you're paying a little bit more, but you're still getting points on the fee too. So I don't know. I guess that's just me. I mean, I look at it as, okay, I'm having to do this thing. I might as well benefit from doing it. So.
Right. Yeah, I you know what? I have a cousin that he uses Blue Business Preferred, Blue Business Plus in order to pay his rent. Now,
yeah,
the charge is only $30 for him to use a credit card. Mm-hmm. So he make a killing because he's getting 2x points. I think his rent is like $3,000 or something like that. So that's 6,000 points a month. He's only paying the 30, and that's on top of the $30 that he's paying. Even though you're paying a fee, he's still coming out way ahead using the credit card. Then if he had used a debit card, he wouldn't be getting anything out of it. So yeah, the same thing with the Bilt card. So the Bilt card was number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Bilt card was number 7. And then number 8 is the Amazon Business Prime. Now I'm going to tell y'all, I got the Amazon Business Prime for the sub. That's it. I got it for the sub because of Amazon Business. If you order from Amazon, your Amazon Business account, even though unless you buy in bulk, more than likely you're going to pay a higher price than you would if you pay from a regular Amazon account. A lot of people don't know that, but I know it because I have both accounts. If you purchase from an Amazon business account and then go over to the personal Amazon account, more than likely the same item is going to be cheaper on the personal side. So make sure y'all pay that attention. I have it. I still use the card. I just use the card on the personal side. You know what I mean? And yeah, I just use it on the personal side. Now I will use it if the big thing with that card is you have 90 days to pay. Right? Excuse me. Yeah, you're right. You have 90 days to pay if you so choose. Now you lose the 5x points, but as a business, if you need to buy merchandise and you need more time to get that merchandise off, having that 90 days to pay, man, that can be very significant, you know. And I like that. Other than the sub, that's the best reason for having it. Then we gonna go to
JP. Oh,
it's the Whole Foods card, which is actually the Amazon Prime card. This is my Amazon Prime personal card, which it says that it's metal. It looks like it's metal. It might be metal in here. It's heavy and it feels like it's metal, but it's like plastic metal. You know what I mean? But I'm still gonna count it because they said that is metal. And getting the 5% cash back, you know, on Amazon. Why not? You know what I mean? Like somebody else purchasing something on Amazon and not getting anything or getting 1% or 2%, you know, why not have that card? It's a no annual fee card. They're gonna give you between $100 and $200 on the sign up bonus. Why not get that card? You know what I mean? Like and it's one of those cards like you're gonna get the card if you apply for it. It's one of those cards. Now, this will be a card that nobody probably ever seen. My unicorn card. The unicorn card is essentially a card that helps you build credit. This card, you can put. I have $15. I've had $15 on this card for like 5 years, probably longer than that. Like I don't even know how long I've had this card, but I've had $15 on it. But what it does is it reports $1,500 as a revolving credit to your credit report every month. It reports $1,500. So for anybody that's rebuilding their credit, it's called Credit AI. Get that Credit AI card, put $10 on it, let that sit on there, and it will keep reporting to your account every single month. This thing is like magic. And the last one, everybody know, my favorite card, the American Express Platinum card. My freaking annual fee just came around, and man, that thing hit me hard, man. You talking about 3? This is the first time I had to pay for my 3 authorized users. Last year, I didn't have to pay for my authorized users. They didn't charge me for authorized users at all, like not for none. But this year, having the card plus 3 authorized users, $1,200. Like that's $1,200, man. That's a hard pill to swallow. I told my wife and my kids next year they are either paying for those cards or they sitting out there with the regular people while I'm inside of the Centurion Lounge. It ain't going down like that no more. I'm not paying $1,200 for this card anymore. That's a fact. Or they can just drop it.
I think this Sledge is. I think your kids need to Venmo you the authorized user fee.
That's a fact. You know what? I told them I got them this time. But next year it ain't happening. You know what I mean? Because you know my daughter's in Japan, so she doing her school thing in Japan. So when she come back, she gonna need the lounge and all. I can say she need it, but you know. She'll use the lounge and everything to come back. But yeah, after that, nah, it ain't happening. Look who we got in the building. JP Buffett. Where this guy been at, man? Where has this guy been? I ain't seen this guy since the last time I seen him. So we got in here fitness and Wellness Joe. Salute to you, man. Y'all coming at the very end. We about to get up out of here unless John got something else to talk about.
Yep, there you go, JP. Exactly what I said. Yep, Venmo the annual fee
plus the surcharge. Venmo. Listen, when I looked at that bill and I'm like, $1,280 for 4 credit cards, man. Now, keep in mind, just 2 weeks prior, I paid for the Delta Platinum card. That's $350. So I paid $350 for that, yep. And then 2 weeks later, I had to pay $1,280 for the American Express Platinum card. Now, my annual fee doesn't hit until, I don't have to pay for it until July 18th. So I reached out to him for a retention offer, and I just keep hitting them up. I'm going to keep hitting them up every day until July 18th. I've already paid it. Like, I've already paid the annual fee, but I'm just going to keep hitting them up for it. So I need to get something back on that, man.
That's a lot of money.
Man, that's a lot of money, man. You know what I mean? Because the reality is, the only thing that they're getting out of it is lounge access. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. That's the only. Well, let me get that back. They do get global entry and TSA pre-check, but that's already paid for. They already have it. And, you know, I think they still probably got like 2 years left on it. And then, I mean, I could take them off for 2 years, you know, and then bring it back, you know, 2 years later. But my kids often, they don't always travel with us, you know. They travel by themselves sometimes, so you know they go to the lounge on their own and things like that. So that's why I keep them on. But yeah, our next year that $195, they gotta get that up. They gotta get that up.
Yeah, that's a tough pill to swallow there.
Michael say, I love the Amex annual fee. No, I don't like that. I don't love the annual fees. Like, I love what I can do with the cards, you know what I mean? But yeah, I do not love the annual fee. That's a game fact. But man, we about to get up out of here, man. I appreciate everybody that been here, whether you've been here for 5 minutes, 15 minutes, or for the whole time. I appreciate everybody that been here. And John, you got anything to say before we get up out of here?
I can't think of anything other than, you know, we're over the holiday weekend here. So just everybody, you know, stay safe and have a good long weekend. And of course, I guess we're Friday night now, but you know, just anybody has any plans for travel coming up? I know I do in a couple of weeks. So just, you know, take the trip.
Take the trip, man. Listen, use your credit. Stop guarding your credit and leverage your credit. We only live once, guys. Take the trip. You know, one thing is for certain, life ends.